Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the partners who have joined us here today for the third webinar in this series of the Tally Partner Digital Enablement Program. And it is indeed a very fortunate moment for us that we are being joined by partners from India, partners from the Middle East. In today's webinar and in future webinars, we will also be joined by our partners who are the Tally Institute of Learning here, basically our TPL partners. A warm welcome to each and every one of you. I would like to start by first thanking each and every one of you for having attended the first two webinars, and not just that, for also providing us with your valuable feedback. And that feedback has proved to be very useful for us, and I'm sure that we will use that to improve even further as we continue with this initiative. The time at the moment is around 3:01, so we'll just wait for a few more minutes to allow people to join in on this particular webinar. But as we are still waiting for some other people to please join, a few ground rules which I would like to mention. First and foremost, our earnest request to all the participants is that please note that this is a series of enablement webinars, and therefore the people who are joining us, as far as digital marketing is concerned, they are the expertise in the field of digital marketing ranges from probably from a beginner to an expert. So we have people who have experienced digital marketing at various levels who are actually joining us for this series of webinars. Our request to everyone is that since this is an enablement session, to kindly the presentation will be at a very generic level, and therefore the doubts also that we will be catering to will be at a very generic level, where we are able to address most of the queries from most of the people who are trying to upgrade themselves as far as digital marketing is concerned. So I request to keep that in mind. And also, this is just a voice only session, and therefore I think the presentation is pretty much one way. Unfortunately, we are not able to get your voice feedback from the other side. So I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions throughout the way. Please feel free to keep them going in the questions panel. And as and when we are going to take some logical breaks during the entire webinar, we will try our best to address as many questions as we can. So yes, the time now is 3:04 p.m. We have just one more minute to go before we actually start this webinar. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the two presenters for today. Ms. Veena Reddy, who is part of our website team and who will take us through the website part of today's session. And of course, we have Mr. Priyesh Kumar, who heads our SEO division in digital marketing. He will be taking us through the SEO section of today's webinar. So yes, at the time now is 3:05 p.m. I will now hand over control to our first presenter, Ms. Veena, who will take us through the website section of today's webinar. Over to Veena.
Okay. Hello, friends. Good afternoon, all of you. Well, myself, I'm Veena Reddy. I work with digital marketing team at Tally Solutions head office, Bangalore. So I'm a part of digital marketing team handling website department. So here I am just taking you a brief introduction on best practices of the website. So this session includes website and SEO. So I'll be taking you through the website. So before we start, as Pramit mentioned, it's a series of webinars. So there were first two webinars which was taken up on social media marketing, which was taken up through Pramit, and there was a second webinar from Zico on email marketing and Google My Business. So this is our third session. So I hope most of you have attended our previous sessions, and I would hope that you would like our upcoming sessions and this session as well, and you would get all that is required for your business, which would be helpful for your business. So I hope everybody my screen is visible to all of you. So starting with the best practices of website. Okay, let me take you through, a brief introduction of what is website and why is it needed. Well, you might be aware, okay, a website is a set of related web pages which are located on a domain. Okay, I will take you through what is domain and web hosting server in upcoming this thing. Okay, why website? To give you a little background, okay, in digital marketing, we use various channels such as email, social media, organic search, paid search, etc. So what is the ultimate objective of all these channels? The objective is to bring people to your website, okay? And so existing customers can get support and prospects can convert into the leads. So, well, hence website becomes a very integral part of digital transformation. So we need website for your business to be, online to perform well. So to tell you, okay, this is why we require the website. So and there are two integral parts, the basic things which you require for the website, that is the web hosting server and the domain name. So to give you a brief introduction on these two topics, these are too technical, so I will not go in detail with these topics. Just to make you understand, okay, the introduction. So the web hosting is a service that allows organizations and individuals to post a website or a web page on the internet. You can see the diagram. So it consists of various parts. It consists of database, it consists of website, it consists of website building tool, an email account, and FTP files upload. So a web hosting company, a web hosting provider will give you all these facilities to you once you start building the website. Once you are like wanted to go with the website, okay, you need a web hosting server. So you need to contact the hosting server, and it will be hosted or stored on a special computers called as servers, wherein the hosting company will provide all this, the databases. Okay, database is something like whatever you write in your web pages that would be stored in a database, and the website which is coded with HTML, CSS, and the website building tool. It can be different platforms like WordPress or Wix or any of the platforms, current running platforms which you can choose. That is the website building tool. And you will get access to an email accounts. You can create your host service provider can create your email accounts. So you will be getting an access of an FTP. FTP is somewhere wherein you will get the direct access of the files, wherein you can download to your local system. You can make any changes. Suppose you want to change the contact information, or tomorrow your office shifts and address needs to be changed, and you want to make some corrections on the content in About Us page or the home page, then you would need the FTP access to be able to make the corrections by yourself. So all this details will be provided by web hosting. So if at all they are not, you need to ask them that we require all these things. So the next coming is the domain name. So what is domain name? Domain name in simple, it's a unique name. Everybody has a unique name, right? We all have a unique name. The same way, website needs to have a unique name. So it needs to go up once you type in the browser tallysolutions.com. So tallysolutions.com is a domain name. So it consists of three levels, which is too technical, and I will not take you through all this stuff. It's just for your knowledge and information. I've just given you that there's a top level domain which consists of .com or .in or whichever prefix is required, and domain name is the main website name, and the subdomain name, it is an optional part. You want it, you can keep, otherwise you can ask your service host provider not to have it, or in while registering the domain name you can exclude it. So basically with this, with the website, what we are trying to achieve. Okay, basically we are achieving lots, like what you want to achieve. You have to define your site's purpose and strategy. So once your purpose is clear, the focus shifts towards what action you want the visitors to take when they land on your website. Is your site there just to display an information, or to sell the products, or to get the signups? So basically, being our tally partners, you would want to display the information on the product, on the features of the product, and you want to give the price, and you want to add your contact information and about yourself, about the organization, and you want to take them, you want to get the signups from all the prospects or the customers. So once you have your your site's purpose and strategy defined and in place, then you will have to concentrate on design and building the website. So there are a few important things. Okay, the first thing that springs to your mind, okay, when you want to design a good quality website. So basically it's a professional agency, right? So you would want to take help because you are unaware. Like some people with the basic knowledge of technical knowledge, they can somehow figure it out, and you can design your own site by choosing any of the currently available platforms. But the people without any knowledge of all these technical tools, how will approach? So basically you'll approach a professional agency. So but anyways, luckily there are another way, like website builders, as I told you, and they are do it yourself online tools, so which would be simple. So the basic 4 to 5 pages website you can do it yourself. So it's not that difficult at all. With little code expertise you can manage the site. So these are the these are the 5 things, okay, when you start building the website. I hope all of you would be having the website now, but the basic things I'm just explaining. So you have to choose a platform first. So naturally there are tons of options, okay, and WordPress is considered as one of the option. So it gives you total control over the look and feel, and it is technically free to use. So we say this because in order to get your website live, you will need to pay for web hosting, you need to pay for security, a domain name, and an additional plugins or themes you will need. So all this you can get it through website, but you are free to use, but domain name will not be given to you. Okay, there'll be a restriction on the website hosting space. So there are a lot of things like that. Okay, and there are other options as well. Okay, there are uh, 10 best website builders available to you today, and all cater to the needs. But for a general overview, take a look at the quality scale. We have the quality scale here, that is the number 1 out of it would be Wix. The second would go to Squarespace, and third would go to Weebly. So through all this, do it yourself website builders, you can fairly create a 5 to 6 pages website without or a minimal technical expertise. So Wix is regarded as one of the best in the market today. It's easy to use drag and drop editor, and gives you a total creativity control, and allowing you to add in all the content in position and position it wherever you want. Okay, this is one of the easiest tool. And there are a lot of more than 500 professionally designed templates, a bunch of amazing features which comes built in. This is the feature of Wix. I can just show you a glimpse of it. I'll just take you through once I finish with the Squarespace and Weebly. So Squarespace is also a website builder, and it's slightly more expensive than Wix, but comes with a glossy and premium feel. So, and Weebly is also one of the website builder which specializes in small business sites. So it has a great range of templates to choose from and a drag and drop editor that's pretty easy to get to grips with. So basically, if I have to take you, I will take you through Wix. Okay. So if I go to Wix, this is how the website is. You can either log in through Facebook or through your Google account. So if you don't have an account, you need to just register yourself. So basically, you find a top bar and a left bar, wherein you have a dashboard here. Okay, with I have already created one as a sample. If you go here and say create new site, so it will ask you what kind of website you want to create. You have to choose the options here. You want to go for business, then go for a business, and you can create your website. It will give you a choice if at all you want you know you want the Wix themselves to create your site. Okay, you can start it now by answering few questions. They will charge you for this. So you can either choose a template which is available. So if you can see the options here on tab bar, you find the categories. Okay, it is related to business services, different categories. So hence, first I mentioned you need to know for what purpose you have to create the site. So once the purpose is clear, you know which category you need to get into, and you can see the various templates. If you want to view, okay, there's a view option, and you can view the site if at all it matches with the purpose of your of your roadmap of the site, whatever you had imagined, then you can go and choose this. So if at all I want to take this, I want to change the image, I want to change the navigation, the logo, all those possibilities, and changing the content, you'll be able to do it yourself. So only thing is developing new, it's a one-page template. Only thing is developing new pages and all, it would be with your own creativity, it would be little difficult. So this is where you can just try it out if at all you don't have one. So let's go back to our PPT. So as I showed you, there'll be a lot of templates and themes which you can choose from. So basically you have to think of a template like the structure of your house, and it forms its basic appearance before you fill it with your all belongings. So you need to judge, decide which template suits best, and create a design which fits for your business. So basically here you have to remember, everyone knows that they should not judge a book by its cover, but that doesn't stop most people from judging a business by its website. So your website has a huge impact on people perceive your business and quality of your services. So while choosing the template, you must be really, really careful and go ahead. So we'll go to the next topic. So one topic was choosing the right theme or the right template. So the next is you have to decide on your right branding. So when designing your site, you should think about how everything you do relates to your overall brand. So everything from color schema do font style and imagery play a part in telling your brand story? So it's important they are all sending the same message. Well, all these are, very important for a website. So the color schema is one of brand's biggest communication tools, and in fact a signature color can boost brand recognition by 80%. Okay, and there is a lot of psychology behind people's perception of color, so it's important to understand how it's used in relation to the industry. So mostly they have one dominant color. We use one dominant color and then 2 or 3 secondary colors. So blue being the most popular color, with 1/3 of the top 100 brands using in their logo too. Okay, I will show you our own website. So basically, when I was talking to you about the color and primary and the secondary color, so we have a lot of blues here. So being blue, we made blue as a primary or dominant color for our site. And this slight yellow or orange shade, okay, is used for call to actions or CTAs, wherein these are the secondary colors. So this makes the user or the customers, whoever is coming, prospects into your website, understand, okay, this is a call to action, I have to click here. So it makes a huge difference on what your user wants, to see in the site, to basically action on upon the site, etc. So the color plays a real important role. Next comes to a font style. So when there is a font style, okay, similar to color, the font you opt for has a big impact on what people think about your site. The average website user will read about 20% of the text on any given page, so only 20%. So it's very crucial to entice them with a appropriate vibe. So naturally, fonts like we use in general, Arial and Helvetica, okay, they are professional fonts. So it's important to strike the balance between the interesting and readable. Now, the last thing you want to do is alienate your readership. So you want people who come to your website to read properly and understand what is there, and then do whatever you want them to do, either fill the form or get the lead from them. So as a general rule of thumb, you should avoid using the jazzy fonts like Comic Sans fonts. And when it comes to imagery, so images are how you turn a modest website into a visual feast. So visual content is useful for increasing clicks and engagement, but on a more basic level, images simply stick in the mind. So basically, when you go into any of the website, you're attracted not with the content or not with the navigation or whatever it is. You're attracted the kind of images, the kind of animations, the imagery, whatever is used on the website, and that sticks to your mind. So according to one study, if you hear a piece of information, you will only remember 10% of it. So if you add the images, it will be 65%. So that said, be careful. So you should not overload your site with the images too. So because a lot of high quality images will increase it will look great now, but they can slow down your site. So web users are impatient and they have high chances of they getting bounced off from your site. So you need to be, while deciding upon your branding like color schema, font style and imagery, just be very careful on choosing the right images, right font and the right colors. So let's move on to the next slide. So, well, this is one of the important topic as well when your website is concerned. So you need to optimize your content. You need to, there are two things which you need to think, that is positioning and optimizing. So, well, positioning refers to where your content sits on the page and how it's laid out. So in my next slide, okay, I have just shown you the picture, okay, wherein here the research, okay, there's a research done in the reading patterns of the users. So research into reading patterns teaches us that people commonly consume content in an F format. So in simple terms, this means that the website users will scan the page in the shape that resembles an F. So this is why the navigation bar on your website are nearly always displayed across the top of the page. And it's the first thing people are drawn to when landing onto your site. So it's a good practice to lay out your content with this in mind. So as many people as possible see the important stuff. So next comes the optimization. So, well, SEO, search engine optimization, okay, and my colleague will take you through in more detail. But to give you a glimpse, okay, it's a process of tweaking the content to help it rank higher on search engines such as Google or Bing. Well, your site may not look any different, but making tweaks like this will make a huge effect on how highly it ranks in the search engine. So the more important things, okay, like mobile responsiveness, okay, metadata, giving proper titles, keeping proper headlines, giving proper descriptions, and giving images with the compressed quality, and adding all text for the images and the anchor text, etc. So nailing all this will improve the user's experience. So basically, as I told, my colleague will take you through the all these details in his SEOs when he'll connect with you now. So, and one important thing is, website sitemap or this navigation. It has to be very simple and very effective. So I've given a sample sitemap here, which consists of home, products, services. If you want to, so it is partner friendly. So this is designed keeping you in mind. So you can keep the home page, you can keep the products page, the features, the TSS renewal page. You can have the services, this how many services or the renewal services. You can have the pricing, silver 9 and gold pricing. And how many, you can even list down the number of clients or the customers you have, and their testimonials you can take and you can publish on your site. A lot of other support related, you can keep the help pages. This you can skip now because you keep getting a lot of queries. So if you have a resource to handle, you can keep a forum and you can have these pages as well. So, and you need to have the contact us, about us, if at all your firm is a mid-sized firm, then you can have job opportunities section as well. And you can keep a call to action by try or buy now, which lead them to which take them to a lead page. So basically, if I show to Tally Solution website, we have a logo placed on the left. We have particular format in the menu bar with the call to actions of buy now and download, which your prospects or customers, if prospects are there, they want to buy now, or they want to try it by downloading. If at all they miss out these two options, they can click here and they can see here by clicking the get the pack option. So we are not missing our prospects. So the same way, like you can, update your content, you can make it, with your readability, and you can give a proper colors, and you can follow the details whatever I have told you now. So if you have any question, that's it from my end. So it was short. So if you have any question, you can uh, let me know. Well, let me hand it over to Priyesh. Meanwhile, I'll just check through the questions and I'll take it through. So thank you all and wish you all the best.
Hello everyone, and a very good afternoon. And I'm hoping everybody is doing good and their loved ones are also doing good in these days. Uh, thanks, Veena. I for passing it to me, and also uh, she will be answering the questions once the webinar is over. Like as in when I complete my session, we'll try to answer all the question that is being asked in the panel. So in meantime, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write on our question chat, and we'll happy to answer that as well. So guys, I believe everybody knows what is SEO, and to give you a small brief about it, what exactly it does and how well we take over SEO when it comes to our website, right? It's very simple and it's not at all complicated, I would say. So it's more of technology where you optimize your website in search friendly so that Google bots can able to see it, right? And to be very honest, I really don't have any presentation which I can show it to you. But yes, definitely, I will take you guys to a live examples that what all things comes under SEO and how do we optimize it when it comes to technical, when it comes to basic checks that we do, right? So yeah. So how search engine works and why do we even say why do we need search engine? So to give you a very uh, broad or brief answer about it, it's all about to optimize your website, right? As search friendly, so that Google bot or any search engine bots can crawl your website and show up your website details when a query comes from a user to the search results. Now you must be thinking, okay, fine, I have a website, and a lot of time it appears in search, but when it comes to any particular queries that relates to my industry, my website never throws up on search result, right? So that's where SEO comes in the picture, and it helps you to rank your website in a way that a person is searching for a query and it will throw up on your search results, right? So how search engine works? So search engine works in a very follows a couple of activities to deliver search results. Like for example, crawling of your website. So Google bot crawls your each and every pages of the website. At the same time, it also called indexing. So now once the crawling is happened by the Google, right? So it also indexes it from your indexes it on their search result and it starts throwing up on the web, right? So obviously when it crawl, it will index your website, then the process will happen, and then the calculation of the relevancy of the industry or the services or product that you are trying to portray on your website, right? And then it will retrieve your results as well. Okay, I'll try to keep a very logical break in between to also go through the question and answer panel and see if I can answer as many as question if possible, right? But nevertheless, let me just continue with the session that we have here right now, right? So another aspect of SEO is copywriting. So what is SEO copywriting? You must be thinking, right? So it's a technique of writing a viewable text to the web user who is looking out for their queries. Now it can be anything. It can be your image. It can be the text, right? So even a user think that okay, fine, I have to look for a image where I can get the information about something that I require, right? So how do you? So you'll say that the text cannot be uh, selectable on the image side, but when it's come to HTML version, which you generally say writing a content on a notepad or wordpad, right? It's very easy to select and then they can use it as well. But now here to optimize your content on the image, right? So Google does give you authority to optimize your image, which called alternative tags, right? So it consists of two tags, which one is title text and your alternative text, right? So the title text is something when a user mouse over to that image and it gives you the information about what is this image all about. Now it comes to alt text, right? So alt text is something that is visible only to the Google bot, right? Who can see and understand this image. What is this image all about? What kind of information this image can provide me, right? So those are the information that we use it in alt text. But now again, so it's when you have to make sure that Google bot crawls your images through a alt text. It doesn't mean that you can write a paragraph. So you have a small character limit, which is your about 50 character that includes spaces as well, right? And try to keep as short as possible to that can define your image. Now, so let me continue the same SEO copywriting. When you're writing any kind of a text, make sure you consider the text or the topic that you have picked up have a good amount of keywords in it based on the relevancy, right? Otherwise, so when if I'm writing about accounting software, so I'll make sure the kind of information that I'm providing on my article or content, right? It has more information about accounting software and how do I use it, right? So these are the activity or things that you should always keep in mind while writing any kind of a content, right? This is very helpful when it comes to ranking. Now I'll give you a very basic where people start from. You and I have started from the same place. What are what is SEO, right? So SEO consists of two parts. One which is on-page SEO. Then you have second one which called off-page SEO. Now, what is on-page? On-page SEO that includes your any kind of changes on the website. That includes your providing content, providing good keyword section, right, correct places, and also providing a appropriate title that defines that page, right? And then comes to off-page SEO. The off-page SEO is something that includes more of a link building process, wherein you increase the popularity of your website, you submitting your website details on other platforms, for example, directories, search engine, social bookmarking, or you can also do link exchange, right? So I'll take you guys one by one of each and everything. What is directory, what is social bookmarking, and how you can use those, right? So let me come back to the first point, which is on-page SEO. So on-page SEO also have two parts to it. One is white hat SEO, one is black hat SEO, right? When it comes to white hat SEO, it's a technique that you follow by the searching. For example, Google has kept a certain guideline, right, which you should follow to make your website keep healthy and also visible to any of the user who is looking for your businesses or any of your search query that relates to your industry. Black hat SEO is something that you go against the SEO guideline by Google and use it in a negative way. For example, you might be seeing there are so a lot of websites have a white background behind, right? So you just try to stuff keywords so that Google consider that okay, fine, these are the keywords of this website, but do understand that Google does read what kind of a color that you have used on your website on a background, right? And what kind of a text color you have used in your background. So if it sees that the kind of background, the background color and your text background matches to each other, right? That's when Google start processing it in a different way. It consider as your you are doing negative SEO, which is also called black hat SEO, right? So it is always advisable by every industry experts that please follow white hat SEO techniques, wherein SEO will Google gives the better guideline. Also, there are lots of other expert who keeps guiding you how do you use your website, how you optimize your website well enough so that it will be visible in search engine. So for that, I will just give you a few example or few website name where I generally keep myself updated with the updates. For example, Search Engine Land, then you have SEO Moz, you have SEO Journal, and so and forth. There is also one famous expert called Neil Patel, right? He also writes a very nice updates on Google when it comes to search engine. And trust me, if you follow these article or this website, you will have no issues when it comes to optimize your website. It will give you each and every details much in advance, so to optimize in a way that Google's according to Google guidelines, right? Moving to on page SEO back again. So under white hat SEO, right, you have multiple activities or techniques that you can optimize your website, that helps you to make sure the website is optimized in a way that according to Google guidelines. Now first comes the title tags, right? So title tags are something that is visible. So let me just take you to the live webinar, I would say, that will I can surely show you how exactly it looks like. Now, so what is title tag, right? So title tag is something that is, if you go to the website source, right, you will able to see the title, right? So this is what I was talking about. This is my title tag of for the website. How will you how and where it get displayed? It displays here. For example, if I'm looking for software, all right. See, can you see this this blue line? What is visible? This is what called title tag, right? And similarly, you have description, right? Which is also okay. I think a lot of people are saying that they are not able to view my, they are not able to hear me. I hope I'm loud and clear to everyone. Just to confirm here. Yes, all right. So as I clearly mentioned, what is title, right? I'll also tell you what is description. So title is one part, and where it is visible is right here. This is what it's visible here when you're searching any kind of a query, right? This is the title. Now, description, right? Just search for description. So this is what you call description, right? So it's called meta title, meta description, right? Meta description is something that will define a particular page in a way that can explain the particular page in one liner. So when I say one liner, it should not cross more than 156 character, right? Because that's the character limit set by Google to display on the search result, right? Where it's visible right over here, right? So this is what called meta description. Now, meta title, I forgot to mention one thing here. So meta title also have a character limit. So you should not cross more than 55 to 60 character when you are optimizing your meta title, and make sure all the primary or important keywords for a particular page, right, should be defined or should be added on your meta title, which will help you to visible more frequent, or the chances of you to visible on search result is gets higher basis on the relevance, right? So this is what we call meta description. Now you have meta keywords, right? Meta keywords is something that probably you can say that, for example, I'll go to our product, Tally ERP9 product, right? Where I will show you that, okay, this is all about my website my product, right? And this is what it will be visible to others. Now, what kind of a keyword that can define my product, right? I can say ERP software, I can say accounting software or inventory software, payroll software, and so on forth, right? How do we make sure those things are how I can visible that? Obviously, you know what kind of product or services you are providing to any customer. So once you have that in your mind, it will get very easy for you to pick those keyword and categorize into primary and secondary keyword. So primary is something that is most important for you, right? And then comes to the secondary keyword. Secondary keywords are those which is something that you can say it's related to my product or services that I provide, but it's not very important. But when it compared to primary keywords, so for example, I'll give you a quick example of here in for Tally. I can say, hey, my Tally ERP9 is an accounting software and ERP software. But what if, so let's say if someone is saying excess of go down or go down excess, right? Inventory excess, right? So those are becomes my secondary. But at the same time, it is equally important what we have it for for my product. So make sure you churn out the keyword list of keyword basis on primary and secondary keyword, and make sure all those primary keyword should be there on your title, should be there in your description, should be there on the content that you have written for your product, right? It should be visible or written repeated a number of time, as in, so for example, if I have to say what kind of how many times you should repeat, so make sure it's 1 to 3% on your the article that you have written or the content that you have written for your product, right? So every time you mention that, okay, fine, this is the, let's say I have a 500 word article, out of which there are 4 to 5 times where my keywords are repeated. When I say repeated, it means it should not look like that you are just stuffing the keyword, but should also go with the line and should also go with the way that has been provided by you, right? It should not look like you are force-put it on into the content. Now, title, meta description, meta keywords. These three things are done, right? The fourth thing, which is you consider as heading tags. What is heading tags, right? Heading tag is something that I can say, okay, so this is what I call as my heading of the particular or individual page, because this is what my page is all about. This is my product, and this is what the heading of the page. How will I see whether it's my heading tags or not? So let me go through the page source of the same. Okay, now heading tag consists of H1 to H6. So H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So how will I say here? I'll just go and search for H1. See, it's right here, Tally ERP9 and your business companion, which is what something here, your business companion. This is what called H1, right? Similarly, you have H2. So I'll again go and search for H2, right? It displays, okay, the perfect companion of your business, right? So each and every part of your website section have H1 to H2 to H6. So make sure, so there is a limit of using this. So H1 should not be repeated more than one time on one page, and H2 can go up to 10 to 15 times depending how many subheadings you have under one category. For example, under tally.erp9, I have multiple subsection, right? So here are my S2. Then again, I'll go back. This is my S2, right? So these are the section. This is again another section. So it depends how many sections you have and how you can well define it. For example, I'll give you a quick example. How do you make sure you have used all H1 to H6 is basic on this is H1, which is something that is displayed on my website, right? On the top of my page, come down, it says S2. So these are another section of my website. So I can consider this as H2, right? Coming under that, under this S2, I have other subsections. So I can consider this as H3, right? Keep going there and make sure there is nowhere that Google says that once you use S2 and started S3, you cannot go back to S2. So any section apart from H1, right, you can use S2, and at the same time, the moment you move to the other section apart, so under S2 you have some other sub points, right? Keep it as H3. Similarly, you go further, drill down, you have H4, H5, and then H6. So at any point of time, then you have a new section altogether. Again, you can use S2. Make sure it's not there is no hard and fast rule where you can use S2 only once. Once you start S3, you cannot put another S2. You have all the rights to do so, right? So this is how heading tags work, and this plays one of the important role to as equal important to major title and description to ranking your website on the search. Right now, heading tags are done. The another part, so I have a lot of images on my website. So first of all, Google don't read what is a image, right? You have to make Googlebot understand that this image is all about a particular section, right? So image, as I have mentioned earlier, so it consists of two parts, alternative. So when I say alt tag, it's called alternative tags, right? Which have two parts to it. One which says alt text, another one is title text, right? So alt tags is something that defines a bot to understand the image that I've added on my website, wherein the title text is something that defines is for the user like us who can mouse over to the image at any point of time and see what the image is talking about. So I'll quickly show you an example here. So let's say I have opened one article, right? So you can see there are images, right? Now I'll just see whether it has alt text or not. Like, see, this is what I was talking about. It has got alt tags, right, which says balance sheet components. Now, how I have decided, or how I have decided that this image is all about balance sheet component is because this is what I'm talking about on my blog or article, right? And the image that I'm displaying to the user is something that relates to the what I'm talking about on my section. So similarly, make sure whensoever you are adding images on your website, it should have a proper alt text and title text. Okay, so moving to the another part of it. So this is the alternate text. Now, keyword research, right? So most of the people say, okay, fine. If I decide that my product is very good known for the accounting software or business software, right? But how do I know people are actually searching for those terms or not, right? So you have got Google Keyword Planner, right, which will help you to tell how many people on a monthly basis searching for that particular keyword. For example, accounting software is very known and very generic keyword that every person who are into business industry, they look for. And how do I know? So what I do is I generally go to Google Keyword Planner. I search for that particular keyword, that how many searches are being happening on a monthly basis, that Google under Google search engines, right? Now Google provides me a chart sheet where it says 10,000 people, 80,000 people, more than a lakh people are searching for this particular keyword on a monthly basis, right? And those are unique searches. For example, if I am being searching accounting software 10 times a day, Google will not consider me that a single user is searching 10 times. So I'll show the keyword planner that yes, the keyword is being searched for 10 times, but it will uniquely see. If I have searched 10 times, it will just show that a person has also searched for one time in Google search, but it will not tell you which person have searched for it, which user is actually searching, but it will definitely tell you from the country specific, from the city specific, state specific. You can always have those filter under keyword planner. Now, when I'm talking about keyword planner, just to give you another glimpse about it, that we have upcoming webinars as well, where Zico from our team will, Zico Castellino, he heads the search, he heads the search bit of it, paid search, where you include more of an ad on Google as well as other channel for display. So he will be taking you guys through each and every part in details. But to bear with that, let me just be here back to my SEO topic, what I have here. And yeah, so right now we have covered meta title, meta description, meta keywords, heading tags, alt text. Now, you must be wondering, there is one more part which is important. What is it? And it is nothing but it's called URL structure that plays a very major role when you are building a website. So when Veena from our team, who just mentioned that when she builds up a website, so always we make sure the kind of a structure, what she has mentioned the last, that a lot of time you should structure your website in such a way that gets easy for any user to see your website and navigate your website, right? For example, I'll give you a quick walkthrough of how a UI structure works. For example, let's say I'm going again to product, right? So my URL gets changed to tally.erp9, tally-erp-9. Now this is what my URL structure that I have defined for this particular page. So similarly, again, you have certain things that you make sure that while you structure your website, you should use a name or a keyword on your URL structure, right? And there are a few guidelines that you have to always make sure that you should keep in your mind, that never use underscore on your URL structure. Always make sure to separate two words, use hyphens in between the words, right? That's why Google give you more importance and able to crawl or understand what kind of a keyword you have added or what kind of folder structure you have decided for your website structure. That is one. There are a lot of people who says, hey, I have, is it necessary to keep it small, or shall I keep it capitalized, or shall I keep it each word as each first letter of each word in capital? So there is no hard and fast rule, but ideally it's really good to have a lowercase, as you see here in our website as well, right? Even if I'm going to Tally software service, you can see here each word, first character of each word is in capital letter. But when it comes to URL structure, everything is small. So there is no hard and fast rule. Please go ahead and make sure you use lowercase in your URL structure. And you can see we have separated words with the hyphens, right? So this is one of the important part when it comes to structure, or to while you are making a folder structure on your website. It is one of the important factor, because once you solve this, it will not something that you will change every day. You cannot change your folder structure each and every day. Okay. So while changing, also you have a lot of pros and cons. You have to do a lot of redirection to make sure user lands on a correct page, rather landing on a 404 page. So what is 404 page now, right? A page which does not have any link or any specific content on our website. For example, if I'll say, now you can see I have written some random words on my URL structure, which I know for sure that it does not have page or individual page that can probably a website can display. So we have said, okay, this is page not found, right? And it's always good to keep a custom 404 page to keep your user engaged on your website. So why it is so? Once you land on a website and it says 404 error, there are a lot of websites who does not have 404. So how it displays? It just say page not displayed or page not found. It will be on an empty page. It's just blank, white color background, and it says page not found. So there is no way that it can go back to the website until unless you press the back button or something. You cannot go there, right? And also one more thing to look here is always when you when you create a custom 404 page, write a content that gives that give a user a chance to go back to the website and see or explore the website once again in terms of where he or she has left. For example, I have said, sorry, but the page you are looking for could not be found. Click here to return to our home page. So as soon as I click, I'm back to the website homepage. So at least one thing I know, that I have retained the user who didn't find the page that he was looking for, right? And I have got back him or her on my homepage. Now, whatever page he was looking for, he can actually go from here and he can browse and explore from the navigational bar. So this is the role of our custom 404 page, right? Which is as equally important to give to have it on your website. If when you're considering that, okay, fine, there's some page which is not visible, or there are page which are not available here. So again, I'll go back to PPT, right? I really don't have anything to present as such, but yes, if in case I have anything, I'll quickly go back to the browser and I'll show you guys there. So all this while I have just mentioned what is SEO, what all it covers. For example, on page, under on page, you have title tags, meta description, heading tags, alt tags, URL structure, focus on 404 page, content optimization, or alternative text or optimization, right? Now, there are other parts of it which I will take you through, but before move to off-page activity or how off-page SEO works, please feel free to type in questions. I will happy to answer that, right? And also, not to forget, I will quickly show you guys once again. I'll take you guys to the browser when you can able to see a lot of stuff. I forgot to mention a couple of things. I'll quickly cover that part as well to you. All right. I hope now you guys can able to see my screen. Now, there is something called robots.txt file. Okay, and there are also there are also a technique which is called sitemap, right? How this how is it helpful for SEO person? If I have to tell you, there are two kinds of sitemaps. One is sitemap.html. Another one is sitemap.xml, right? What HTML does? HTML is basically for the internet normal user like us, and sitemap XML is meant only for Google bot. So what is sitemap.xml? I'll just quickly show you. Right, I'll just say sitemap.xml. All right. So if you can see the kind of a link that I have, for example, let me just go through this particular link. Right, under this XML, I have another set of link that is applicable, which is only made for Google search engines or Google search engine crawlers. right? I have mentioned about my home page, I have mentioned about tally page, about section, blog, right? And so and forth pages, right? So what it does is it let the Google crawler to crawl this particular links, which, so let's say if I have 500 pages on my website, so I cannot go to each and every pages and ask Google to crawl it. Instead, I add all those keywords under my XML sitemap, and I will ask Google to crawl that XML file, which will help me or help Google bot to crawl each and every pages or section on my website, which is there to view, which can be accessible by a internet user. Now this is what Google XML does. Now I'll also show you the sitemap of HTML sitemap. So can you see here, I have under quick links, I have sitemap, right? So this sitemap is meant only for the internet user, like people like us, right? Who can able to see what kind of pages we have and where all it exists, right? So I can go at any point of time, I can click on this and I'll land on that particular page, right? You have your about us tally, we have blogs, learning hubs, webinars, right? So even if I'll click here, so it will take me to the blog section right up there. Now, this is what difference between HTML and XML. I have also mentioned about robots.txt, what it does. So robot.txt helps you to give a control to Google bot whether they should crawl a particular section of your website or they should not. So when I say why it should not crawl a part of my website is because, so there are few, so when you create a website, you will have an admin panel, right? Which is only accessible by a user or a owner of a website who can go there and make changes, right? And you really don't want anybody to see those pages on search result, and it will be of no use when you show those pages on the search engine results, right? So how do we manage those, right? So we have something called robot.txt where you allow you tell all the pages, right, which you don't want Google to crawl. For example, now see user agent, I have mentioned all the sitemap XML link which I want Google to crawl it, right? So I have given all the links here. Also, if you see here, I have mentioned disallow, right? So these are few pages on my website which I don't want Google crawlers to crawl it or index it on the search engine result. Why? Because these pages are not at all important or should be visible to any internet user when they are searching for their queries. Because this is mainly, we have done it when we were creating or building the website, right? And these are the only information that a business owner have the rights to see it, make addition to it, or they can delete it. So it's all up to a business owner or a website owner, right? So let's say you have got a sitemap and now you want to crawl it. So robot search engine, the moment you add your website or launch your website, Google definitely see the robots for whether it's there or not in your website. If they don't find it, it crawls each and every part of your website, whether it's your admin panel, whether your server related issues or server related links, it will crawl everything. Where the moment you add robots, it and tell a Google bot, okay, you are allowed to go to my sitemap file and you can crawl those pages and index it on the search engine result. Wherein there are few pages which I don't want you to crawl or show it on the search engine. So you disallow those pages from the search engine result when you are throwing any kind of a result being searched by a internet user, right? So these are the only, or I would say the most highlighted, or most important basic check that you should always have when it comes to a SEO on page, right? Now, let me quickly jump to off page SEO because we have another 40 minutes. where I also want to take up the question or the queries that you guys have. Along with Veena, who have not taken the question so far, I'll allow her also to answer the question that you guys have asked for, right? So what is SEO of page, right? So it is the process of link building and obtaining links from external website, right? So when I say external website, it could be from directory, it could be from social bookmarking, it could be any other website, or it can be of any news website as well. What it does, it helps you to increase your popularity of your website on search engine or in the internet web browser. So how do you make sure that how am I supposed to do link building? I have no idea, right? So there are few activities which I will tell you, which I'll show you, that these are the topics, these are the pages, or these are the sites where you can explore this and you can submit your website information so that it gets more popularity and it gets more visibility through different sources, right? So basically, if a tally is a website, right? So all my other partners are giving me a link or talking about Tally solution as a company, right? Giving them information about Tally on their website, right? So Tally indirectly have a exchange of their link to the partner source, to the customer source, wherein they are talking about Tally, and it will eventually builds up the brand authority. So when I say building brand authority, uh, it's very important for a website to create the brand awareness, or basically you can say the word of mouth. It spreads. Similarly, in internet it spreads via when a internet user is talking about a particular brand on their channels. Okay, so I'll quickly go take you guys to how you can and what are the activities that you can do on off-page activity, off-page SEO off-page, right? So as I mentioned directly, so I'll say uh, directory submission list. So remember one thing. So we have got there are thousands of millions of links available in internet for directory from social bookmarking. It's just that you have to understand. So see, for example, here it mentioned directory submission is one of the most used off-page SEO technique used to generate high quality backlinks in an easy way possible, right? So when they say easy way possible, if I'll go to this link, I will have a lot of directory links present there where I can go and I can submit my website details, right? So for example, here free@sign.org, right? If I click on it, it will tell me that okay, these are the information that you have to add here. Now, while submitting this, remember there are steps that you have to follow very uh, which is very important. Let's say you are into accounting software, right, or software service. So you have a lot of categories here. You can see these are the categories. So you choose a particular category, specific categories which builds up on your which is something that relevant to your business. So I will definitely search for a place where it says software service, right? So your post ad, and it will ask me, okay, choose a category. So let's say if I choose a category of uh, services, right? Under which you might see advertising, software, entertainment, right? So choose a category that is closest to your business, right? Always remember, until unless you will not. So, for example, financial services, right? Or maybe here, if you have accounting software services or software, please feel free to select those, because that is one of the important factor when Google crawls these websites. Your website visibility become one of the important part here. Uh, so when you choose this kind of category in a way that belongs to close belongs to the closest to your business industry, right? Post those. Let's say if I'll just select for your financial services, right? And you have option where you can go ahead, uh, say continue. Just say continue. Put all your website information. For example, it will ask me to put in my country details. Then it will ask me to put your title of your website, then description of your website, then link of your website, right? So all those information, once you are done, it will ask you to submit. So once you submit this, it will ask you to once you submit, it says it's awaiting for approval, and there are a few website which approves your website listing then and there. To give you an example, let's say if you post an ad on Quicker or maybe OLX or any uh, places where it requires approval, or you're selling any kind of thing, right? Any kind of a product or software. So you give all the business information, your website details, right? Similarly, directory works in a similar way. And for that matter, the social bookmarking, right? Social bookmarking also works in a same way. Social bookmarking, submissionless, right? In social bookmarking services, what exactly social bookmarking is allows you to create your profile and submit your website detail, which the user of that particular website can view it and can understand what kind of a services or product you're offering, and it will store on their database, and it will keep the moment they are interested to buy those products or services that you are offering, they'll click on it and it will take them to your website, because that's the link that you have provided. So this is what I generally prefer to make any kind of off-page activity, right? You also have article submission. So in article submission, there are very few websites where you can see. I'll show you art. Okay. Right, the very few article sharing where you can write the article about what the topic you have chosen, and you can talk about your business and services on that and submit on their website. What it does is, so when a person is looking for any kind of product service and which is related to the post that you have written there, they will find the page or the link of your article on the other website and click on that and reads about it. And also always remember, when you are submitting an article, always try to give a link back to your website, right? Which is very important when you are submitting an article, because that will allows you to choose or uh, uh, to tell our internet user, yes, I have written this content, this is my profile, and I provide this kind of this is my offerings, right? So once they'll come to your website, they can able to see the same thing. And make sure whenever you're writing any kind of a content, it should relate it to your product or services that you're offering, because you don't want a user to come to look for a computer, and you're asking, hey, you're not selling computer, but you're selling a software that can be used in that computer, right? So make sure the user who comes to your website should be relevant, otherwise they will bounce back to you from your website, right? How do you track all these? These are it's there in the upcoming webinars, where I'll be mostly taking you guys through Google Analytics and Google Console, how it works and how you can utilize that. And it will get it is very important when a person having a website and he has optimized a website which they want to track how it is performing in internet, right? So this is a complete webinar which will have one by one we have scheduled, so that once you're done with this, you have the other topic aligned for that, right? So this is it for page submission, I believe, because I generally don't appreciate more than these three activity, because now Google does not give much priority for the other. So back in like 7-8 years back or 10 years back, when off-page activity is what been consulted by a SEO expert, they used to submit a lot of in a lot of places, right? So they used to ping on Google, they used to submit a lot of articles. Now, to give you a limit of it, so do not over submit your website details in a day or in a month. So in a month, just try to keep max to max 25 to 30 submission for article, for directory, for to social bookmarking. And when it comes to article, I believe two or three is more than enough for a month when it comes to article, because articles is something that requires a lot of effort to write it and to submit it on all the kind of channels that you have chosen for your businesses, right? So this is what the off page is all about. Anything submitting overly will lead your website to spam, or Google will see there are a lot of spam happening, they will penalize your website. So definitely a business owner or a website owner never want their website to be penalized by Google. Okay, so this is about on page and off page. Now I'll quickly take you guys through what exactly are the other topics that we have to cover. So for example, I'll quickly give you guys a glimpse of uh, how you should write a content, what is how do you choose a keyword. Those are the most technical thing when it comes to the best practices, and it will give you an idea about how well you can optimize your website when it comes to these activities, right? So content is king. So no doubt, so the kind of content you have in your website plays the biggest role, but it will be of no use if you have not optimized it well via search engine optimization process. So when I say search engine optimization process, so the kind of effort that you have put to write the content on your website for your products and offerings, you should optimize in a way that can reach out to as many as users who are looking for it. How will you optimize it? As I've mentioned about keyword. So when you're going to keyword planner tool, right, and you're searching whether this particular keyword has any search volume or not, make sure those keywords have a high search volume and the competition of those keywords are low, or max to max you should go to medium, right? Why you should go max to max medium is because the kind of keyword that you are trying to target have a lot of competition. It could be low, it could be medium, it could be high also. So when you see high, which means a lot of people are trying to get visible on that particular keyword, and it gets harder. So for example, if I'll search for e-commerce website, right? We have a lot of websites, but who are the giant on this giant of all in e-commerce industry? These are Flipkart, there are Amazon, right? And these are only two big names we know now. How, or maybe Myntra we can say, but Myntra doesn't provide you everything. So what you can do is you make sure the kind of keyword that you choose should be belongs between lower competition to medium competition. Otherwise, all the bigger giants of this industry will take your position and you will not be able to search on top. Yes, over a period when you build up a relevancy of those keywords via providing your services to the customer, getting the review from them, and have it updated on your website. And when Google crawls your website and see the kind of a relevancy it has, right, it will definitely boost up your keyword performance on top of the search result. But yes, the best practices is something that a keyword should be chosen based on their search volume. The higher the search volume is better for your business to rank, because at least you know these keywords are ranking, and it is these keywords are being searched by an internet user, and this is what my offerings are. Now, the competition, yes, I want my keyword to be less competitive when it comes to competition in the market, because it will increase the chances of my website to visible on the search engine are become very higher, right? It will based on the content that I have provided, based on the meta tags I have used, based on the title I have, based on the keyword I have used in meta title, meta description, and even for that matter on headings, on URL structure. So these are the main, I would say, the best way that you can utilize of your content by providing them a proper keyword optimization process. Now you have got, apart from keyword optimization, you have also get how do I manage, or how can I segregate my keyword list. So as I mentioned on primary and secondary category, so primary keep the keywords which based on the particular page or individual page that you are optimizing it for. For example, if I have to show my page, right? If I have to say that, okay, fine, I'm trying to optimize my product page. Now this product is talking about the name of my product, as well as what this product provides you as a solution. So obviously it's an accounting and ERP software. So if you see here, so as in when I mouse over to it, it says Tally ERP9, which is the name of my product, is a ERP software solution in India, right? And similarly, we have optimized for other countries as well. If it is for Middle East, we have optimized based on their solution, right? So we keep making changes based on the country specific or regional based. Now, so this is ERP software solution has a very good amount of search volume in internet, right? And people are using it. And if you search for it, we are there, right? Because we have built the relevance and authority for this particular keyword to rank on the search engines. Now let's come back to, let's say if I'm looking for searching for a solution or kind of a any details on the accounting per se, I'll quickly say what is post-dated check, right? And I know it is there, right? I have written my content about it. If I'll go here, see it says what is post-dated check and how to write it, right? Given by Tally solution. So these are the way you optimize. So this is the kind of a topic that you are trying to convey to the user. It should be relevant to that page. Each and every page should have a unique title tag, a description tag, and heading tag. Make sure you should not repeat one title or should not use one title to another pages as well, because it will count it as duplicate title tags. So duplicate meta title or meta description for that matter. So always keep all your pages. Let's say if you have 10 pages on your website, keep those 10 pages meta tags in unique format. Do not duplicate it. Do not use the same title what you have used it for your home page. Same should be open or kept for your product page. Try to distinguish between both of them, right? So this is the one of the best practices that I can say. Now there are a lot of other technicality. How do I further, once I have uploaded this, once I have optimized my website based on the basic checks, what other things that I should go for? Guys, this is one, people get mistaken a lot of time just to make their basic checks done at the beginning, and going further they just try to look for the expertise on it. So the most technicality part, which I believe once until your basics are not fixed, there is no way that will help you to optimize in the most advanced way. So just fix your basic first, and also once you're done with that, you are good to go for the advanced version. So before this webinar, I have also gone through a couple of partners' website where I've seen the website is not optimized based on SEO, right? And if they would have optimized it much better, they would have able to easily gain it, or they would have easily grab a search engine rank on a browser. So this is it from my side. Uh, it's high time that I should take break for the question and answer, because I believe that is one of the important part uh, in in this entire webinar. So I'll also call up Veena so that she can answer the question what she have not been able to answer during her time when you guys have asked the question. So yes, ask any question that you guys have now when it comes to website development, so that Veena can answer it. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions. It's already there. We'll try Veena to come and answer those, and also I'll go through the questions what you guys have written for the SEO front as well. Right. So I can see Veena has already started answering questions to the user who have asked the question. I'll just follow Veena and hi Veena. Hope you can hear us. Veena,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can. All right. So, Veena, I'm sure there are a lot of questions for you here, and I'm sure you want to answer them. So please go ahead and see the questions that you have. I will probably give you another 10 minutes to answer your question so that I can take up the question that I have it for me and I can answer them as well.
Sure, Priyesh. Thank you so much. So I've already answered a few of them. Now I'll just check few more questions which are left out, and I'll try to answer them. Okay, a question from Navneetan. Okay, if we use Wix site, can we get our URL after prefixed with Wix? Okay, how can I get fully personalized URL for my business? Okay, well, Navneet, sir, as I mentioned, you earlier part of the session, there would be two parts for your website, wherein you have to choose your own domain name. So basically, domain name is not free. You have to pay it, and you get your own domain name, and you need to use Wix. Even they provide the domain names, so they have plans. They have various plans starting from the range of you probably around $13 a month. uh, you can choose the right plan for your business, and you can get the site developed in the paid version itself to get your own domain name. Yeah, there is one question from Vinay. They have their website and they want us to check and see what has to be. Okay, we'll go through that and get back to you, sir. So apart from this two, I think most of the questions I have replied and I have answered. So over to Priyesh, you can take it over. So if at all there is any question, I'll just ask you for a reply to them or the chat.
Sure, Veena. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I can see we have got a lot of questions from SEO front as well. The first question that I can see is from Jay Bora, who have asked for what is crawling. Jay, the crawling is a process of fetching all the web pages linked to a website. So when I say link to a website, it can be, for example, Tally solution has like more than 700 pages, right? So the process of crawling all those five to get all the links visible to the search engine bot or a spider, right? It's called crawling. So this task is obviously not something that we have to do it on our own. It's Google bot that does it for all the website, right? And it's not like it keeps it is only there for my website or your website. There are millions of billions of websites which will be crawled by the Google bot or the crawlers. So Mohan S has a question which says, what is mostly search keyword for Tally? So we have a mix of all the keywords, if you have to look in that way, which says from accounting software to ERP to business software to inventory related software, you have everything. So there is not a particular keyword that I can answer it for you, that this is the only keyword that is being searched mostly on my website or for my product or website. So it's a mix of everything. Vidya Shri has a question which is, will blogging help SEO? Yes, of course, Vidya. It will be a really helpful way to get your website ranking on search result. Because Jen, can you speak? Because Jen, I will try to do it next time. Sorry, I didn't see your chat earlier, but we have kept English as a language because most of our other partners are also joined here from Middle East, and we try to keep it as uniform that okay, this is one language that people can able to understand in one go. Okay, so Siddharam has a very good question here. On an average, how much does static or dynamic website cost? Avina, do you want to answer this? Because I assume that this belongs completely from your domain. The question is, on an average, how much does static and dynamic website cost? From Siddharam Patil.
Static and dynamic website costs.
Yes.
Okay. So these two terms have not taken you guys because it is like totally in depth and confusing. So basically, static and dynamic. Static is considered as just a still pages without any form fills or without any. Is just like as if you're reading a book and you're just flowing with the content. So static website is easy. It doesn't cost you much. In fact, you can create it by yourself. And dynamic website is something where you have all the form fills and you'll be getting queries from the customers or prospects, and you'll be getting leads, you'll be generating leads, and you will have to flow communication. Like there are a lot of things involved wherein it will be better if we go for a paid version for it. But it's good that if we go for WordPress, wherein you can choose a paid theme, you will be having your own domain name and you can go ahead and create the WordPress site.
All right. I hope Siddharam Veena has able to answer your question. So the next question is from Mohan S. Which is the best SEO optimization tool available on free? So Mohan, a really good question. I believe a lot of people keep searching for it, and the only thing answer I can give you that there are a lot of websites when it comes to optimize your website or to see how well you can optimize your website. All right. So among all, you have SEM Rush. Again, these are paid tools, but there are few which are WooRank, Ahref Tag, which is again free. Then you have got your streaming fog. Then you have got your Google mobile friendly test, which is again free. You have Majestic SEO, which is free. But again, if you have to talk about a little paid version of it, then you have your SEM Rush, as I mentioned earlier. You have Ahref Tags, tool, which is again it comes with a price. You have got your Moz SEO Moz Pro, which come with a small price to it. And these are really good tools when it comes to your optimizing your website. How to know ranking on SEO? It's from Vinay Kumar Kandu. Vinay, so how do you know whether your website is ranking properly or not? It's just that, so the keyword that you have targeted for your website, just search for those keywords and see if your website is ranking there or not. And if it is not ranking, right, so you will definitely have to optimize your website based on that particular keyword of the pages that you have that you're looking for. Rajaram Kanulkar have a question. Making a website with same tally like name will be smart move, or making website in the name of a company and spending on SEO to bring tally traffic to our website. I really have feeling that you are asking the difference or which will be the better idea to do so. I would suggest to have a website of your own name or own brand, which can give you uh, uh, which will have your own identity about your business and your brand. But definitely never ever copy or duplicate any other brand website for yourself, because it is very easy for a website owner to find that, and it's easy for them to send a request to Google to penalize or to take those websites down. Balaji have another question. Sir, can you give an example for crawling and explain? So Balaji, I just explained what is crawling and how can I explain it. So the best idea or the best example I can give you is about sitemap.xml, where you have mentioned all your website link, and once you submit it on Google Console, it will go through it and it will crawl all of your website link that is available on your XML file. So that is the best example I can give you right now on that part. Rajaram have another question with he's saying, can you name these 3 names SEO Max? I missed them. SEO names. Okay, so I am assuming that you're talking about which are the places that you can see the SEO update. So one, I would say you take SEO Journal, you have Search Engine Land, you have SEO Moz, right? These are the 3 places where you will find the updates about SEO. You will see all sort of how you can optimize your website for better ranking and positioning on search result, right? So these are only 3. I believe you are asking for the same thing. Okay, Balaji Nagarajan have a question. He's asking how we are using the content in description, like grammar and normal search word by user. So Balaji, I hope I have understand the question in a way that properly. So you define your page in a meta description in one liner, as I mentioned earlier, that the description, this meta description should not cross more than 156 to 160 character, where you utilize most of your primary and secondary keyword, and try to keep your try to keep your line or the explanation of the page as grammar free, because I'm not very sure whether when a user reads on the search result about your description, they might not, if they are not able to understand what are you trying to convey there, there are chances that you might not be able to get the user on your website. Can tags in WordPress be considered as meta tags, Mr. DJ? Okay. So under WordPress, you have a separate plugin. It's called Yoast plugin, where you can which you can use it for your SEO purpose, SEO to update your meta title and meta description. And yes, those are meta tags for your website, which consists of meta title and description. Shakti have question, if possible, text in not notepad, technical words. Um, sorry, sir, I'm not able to actually understand what you are trying to ask here. I'll just quickly skip that and have another question from DJ. Should we work mainly on Google SEO only or Bing, Yahoo also separately? Will Google optimization technique be work for others too, or others have different algorithm? The algorithm is similar. It's same for all the search engine. It's just that they have a different way to look at it. But if you have optimized for Google, it will automatically work for Bing and Yahoo as well. You don't have to worry on that. You don't have to optimize your website differently for Bing or Yahoo search engines. Charan have asked, can we have two alts, same image? I believe if I'm not taking it wrong, so you want to ask, can you use two different alt tags for one image? No, sir. Please use one text or keep one tags for each image. Don't keep two tags for one image because it will confuse Google and they'll not be able to understand it. So obviously, it's always ideally it has always mentioned that keep your politics in as clear as possible as one word, or maybe not one word, but don't confuse with like two or three different tags. Balaji Nagarajan have another question: how we are using the content in description like grammar and normal? So okay, I think I have already answered it. Balaji again have question. Okay, crawling I have explained. I think he had disconnected. Okay, guys, I have just left with 1 minute. I'll most well take another 2 to 3 minutes and I'll quickly see what kind of question is more important that I can answer right now. And if any question that I have missed during this webinar, I'll make sure I'll pass it on to you guys through the recordings and the question answer section. Rajiv Srivastava have asked where we put keywords in web pages. So when you're writing any kind of a content on your website, try to add keywords on your web pages, on the content, in between the content, which should not be like you are adding it forcefully, but it should look like that's a part of your content. Mukesh Ranjan, where we found the keyword search in Google. So, sir, you will not see what kind of a keyword you have searched because the query that you are trying to search in search engines, right? It displays the search result, and if you go to the search result, it will show you the query that you have searched. Based on that, you will see meta title and description will be highlighted with those keywords. Mayank Bhula, if we want to make site for our company in which customer and distributor also fill order form and we export all order from and import in Tally, which builder you suggest? I think Veena should have taken this question, so but I'll make sure she will send you this answer while we are sending the recordings to you. Abha Khanna, does SEO works with SEO with YouTube creators? Yes, of course. Whenever you make any kind of a YouTube channel or any other channel, SEO SEO plays a big role there. So it depends on what kind of a content or type you have used on your channels and how well you can leverage it there, right? So anytime you create any social channel, it is important to make sure that the keyword that you have used for channel is very uh, close to your industry. Okay, guys, I'll take max 3 minutes more and I'll end the webinar because I'm sure I've crossed uh, the deadline that I have mentioned. I'll just take more max to max 3 to 4 questions. So Ankit Rathi, how to manage SEO when we are using website builder as it is just like to create a PPT. So even when you are doing that, it allows you to add keywords, meta title and description to show your website. So don't worry about it. Pankaj Shah, how to find trending keywords related to our website. So for related to your website, you definitely can't see the keyword trending for your website, but obviously there is a tool called Google Trend. You can search those keywords and see whether which is again related to your industry, and whether it is in a trend or not. It will show you the bar graph. Okay. Wilfred has asked, does crawling in SEO mean hiding certain pages not to be shown in the external searches? Yes, of course. So because that's where you will use the robots to disallow the pages that you don't want to get featured on search result. Vidyashree, what is broken links building? So there's nothing called broken links building. It's something if you're trying to post any kind of a link on a directory submission or social bookmarking, and you're trying to post your link there, it will highly chances that it will not get approved or not get submitted. Vinay Kumar have asked, SEO की ranking कैसे check करेंगे? Obviously, how do you check the keyword ranking? Is based on the search, the keyword that you have targeted for a particular keyword. Because any pages has certain keyword that belongs to it, right? So always make sure when you are searching for an industry related keyword which is related to your service or offerings, go and search those keyword and see whether your website is ranking for that or not. Aditi Desai, upcoming webinars. Aditi, we will keep you posted with the upcoming webinar details. DJ have asked 2 or 3 articles per month across all sites or per site? Across all the sites is something that I can ask tell you to keep. Okay, guys, I think I have crossed a lot of limit here, and I'm pretty much sure everybody their own task to do. So what I'll do is I know I have missed a lot of questions here, but I'll make sure that the question should be answered in a proper way, and I'll send it out to all of you guys with the recordings of this webinar. Till then, just stay safe and stay inside, and have a good night and good day. Thank you so much.